Hello and welcome to a new episode of The World of Company Secretaries. This is a show where we talk to different company secretaries and understand their success story. And joining us today is Lakshmi Manjunath. Hello Lakshmi, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
So we are happy that Lakshmi is here. Before we go ahead and talk to Lakshmi about her journey of being a CS lawyer and also a estate planner, we'll understand little background about Lakshmi. Lakshmi is basically a law graduate from the Bangalore University. She's also done her company secretary from the Institute of Company Secretaries of India, and she's also, very interestingly, a certified estate planner, and we'll learn more about this in this interview. So Lakshmi, the first thing is we are happy you're here.
Thank you.
And we would like to know your entire journey of CS. Before we go back to when did you start CS and stuff like that, on this show usually we talk to our guests on what are they doing right now.
Yeah.
And then we go back to the journey. So right now, what are you doing?
Yeah. Currently, I am an Associate Vice President, Legal and Estate Planning with this office called Entrust Family Office. We are a niche boutique or family office in India. Our clients are UHNIs and HNIs. Basically, what a family office does is we provide all gamut of services for our clients under one roof. So one is legal, of course, one is estate planning. We also give investment advisory, real estate, and all of the services under one roof. So this is the family office concept, which is where I am right now.
So this is makes it really interesting for us on this interview, because not many would understand or have an experience of what a family office is. And like you were telling even before the interview that this is a niche area and it is coming up right now in India, and there will be more such offices in the future.
Yes.
So if you are watching this, it is possible that a company secretary can also work in a very niche area like this, which is basically a support service for HNI clients and people who have huge assets and they have to manage it in the right manner. So you were telling us about working with this family office, and this is your current designation and what you do right now.
Yeah.
But there must have been a day where you have never heard about the word company secretary.
Yes.
So when was it that you heard about this two words, company secretary, and when did you take this course?
Yeah. This is way back in 2003-2004. I'd actually taken up some other professional course, and for some reason I could not finish it, meaning I could not continue with it. So, and law as such is not too alien to me. My father was a superintendent of police, so he was talking about law with his superiors, juniors, etc. There were a lot of this criminal discussions happening, and I could hear some legal discussions also. So I was familiar with this concept. So after leaving this professional course, the only other professional course which I thought was law, because I was familiar with it, and I joined this. I think in the first semester of law, my uncle told me that he was with IBM at that time. He told me that there's someone who's doing legal and CS. Why don't you go and try this profession as well? That's when I actually heard the word called company secretary. And honestly speaking, when I heard company secretary, I had a different understanding. So he introduced me to this concept. We did not have too much of social media and internet at that time. He took me to the institute and he gave me some brochures. I think Sangeeta Flora was there at that time. She introduced me to all his subjects and etc. Very similar to law, so I was comfortable with it. That's when I took the course and I started with it. And I did law and CS together.
Yeah, so your uncle was the first who introduced you that there's a course like this.
Correct.
And encouraged you to take up this course.
Yes.
So when, because most of our audience are students or people who are doing or young professionals, you said you did the CS and the law together.
Yeah.
So how was it juggling these two professional courses? It's not very easy. So if you can tell a little bit about your student days.
Yeah, so first things first, I did not have the confidence that I could do both together. There's so much of company. So after I heard about company secretary course and the entire thing that involves, it had a bit of an aura around it. It was very glamorous to me. And law I was already familiar with. Though this company secretary had legal subjects, I was a little scared to do both together. That's when I think when I started going to these classes, I met a lot of friends who encouraged me to do it together. And I'm sure I finished this course only because of them in terms of foundation, because they were the ones who motivated me to get up in the morning and finish the classes, etc. After that, I got comfortable and I finished the course. So I finished CS as well as law together, and that kind of was hectic at that point of time, but it was okay.
Okay, I think that anecdote of how friends helped you to
Yeah,
clear the
definitely.
foundation was very interesting. And also, foundation is the first step,
Yeah.
and once you are through foundation, anyone feels the confidence that, okay,
Yes,
I
yes,
can
you
get
can
through.
do it. Yes.
Okay, nice to know. So, you were talking about first your uncle told you about CS, then how you did foundation and law together,
yeah.
and how your friends
Yes.
helped you. So, what were some of the subjects which you found challenging, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah. So I have a science background in terms of PU.
Okay.
And I took up arts in terms of law,
Yeah.
and CS was a complete commerce.
Commerce.
So
and-
the first two subjects which was very tough for me was, of course, cost accounting and taxation also in terms of calculations.
Correct.
So luckily there were a lot of classes available in Bangalore. So I took those courses and the coaching together, so it was helpful for me.
Okay, great.
And frankly, I just want to add this also. In terms of taxation, when I'm doing estate planning, it really helps. I never could understand then that what the importance was, but now I can correlate to that to this.
I think since you brought that, I will take that part also.
Yeah.
So, like you were telling, what you're doing is very niche and new, and you have specialized skills which is required to do whatever you're doing right now. So, in your job right now, are you using your knowledge of being a lawyer, company secretary, and being a certified estate planner? Can you tell a little bit about that?
Yes. This is a very interesting question actually, because not too many times you will apply what you've studied in school.
Exactly.
So, fundamentally speaking, yes, I'm applying from the torts to your commercial laws to contracts, everything I'm applying in a day-to-day basis. And even like I mentioned about taxes, that also I'm applying. Even to that extent, cost accounting also. There's a preconceived notion across that if you're a lawyer or a CS, I don't know about CS honestly, about lawyer actually. If you go somewhere, they'll think open your phone, calculate, because you don't know how to calculate by hand or by mind. So that's one thing which actually helped me. So you know the fundamentals of math, the divisions and the multiplications. So you can at least do those things without any aid. So that kind of helps. So to answer your question, definitely I'm applying what I studied.
Okay. So also this is interesting because many students are also doing your law and CS together, and they often feel that we should pursue only one and the other one is just for a visiting card or on your email signature. But I think your experience is very interesting because not only have you studied, and if I have to see it from a third person's perspective, let's say somebody who's a lawyer who's very good at doing his job of a lawyer, but he or she might not be able to give in the dimension with someone like you because you have CS background and the law background.
Definitely.
So with this long question of mine, how do you think CS adds value to a law degree or the other way around? Law degree to a CS student?
CS and law, we all know, is complementary.
Yes.
But if you actually apply it, law will teach you the fundamentals, be it drafting, be it application, be it researching skills, linking a case law to your particular case, and writing theses, etc. Where the quality of CS comes in is, it gives you a higher level approach in terms of be it corporate law or be it what other things we study in terms, even communication for that matter. It helped us to improve our English firstly, and the Companies Act itself gives us an edge across all corporate law backgrounds, because we know law in terms of company law way better than the others. Not just that, in terms of FEMA also, because day to day we keep doing what we do, which is not regular in terms of legal practice as such, because legal practice itself is very broad.
Correct.
CS itself is very broad. When you marry these two, it's a very good concept.
Yes, exactly. And like you were saying about FEMA, nowadays most of the companies, even I come across in my practice, smaller companies have some sort of the other FEMA angle. Either they have a small FDI or they're sending some services abroad and they're earning money, or they're a cost plus center over here. Multiple things are there. So this is what I would like our audience to take note of, that is, when you do CS and law, you have things which you really can't foresee. Like Lakshmi, did you know while you were studying that there's something called as estate planning, and you'll get into that someday, and all your knowledge of law and CS will get used?
No, absolutely not. Definitely not. So especially like I told, taxation, right?
Correct.
So what we had, international taxation. That was about 10 years, 11 years back. But even to this day, I go back to fundamentals from my CS book and I learn from it.
That's a very nice anecdote, that even now the CS book and the material is very useful though you're working in a big office. So going further, how did you foresee your career to be when you were a student, and what is it right now? Are you happy with where things have panned out? Has it exceeded your expectations?
Right.
That angle, if you can tell us.
It's a very rare question. So I never had a plan for myself. I never expected that I should be going into this stream or be only in this stream or etc. Like I told, I did not plan being a lawyer or a CS in the first place. So I was extremely open-minded as to what things can throw in my side. So when I finished my CS, I went and joined a law firm.
Okay.
That firm was completely into private equity and general corporate. So overnight, I was exposed to private equity from CS, which I was doing in articleship. So I had to pick that up because I had no choice, and I frankly did not know what else was existing out there. So I picked it up, and then I went to another big four. That's when they threw this estate planning into me, and they threw M&A to me. And I had this PE background as well. So you need to have agility to learn also, and the interest also. So I picked it up there. After this big four, I've come to this office. I've been here for 5 years.
Okay.
So I'm also doing general real estate, general corporate, and whatever I've learned in the previous firms. So it's a mix of everything. You really can't. Some people are very clear about what they want to do, and they're already partners and excelling in their field. It was not in my case. I was very open in what I was doing. So for your question, yes, I'm happy to be where I am because I really don't expect anything. And what holds future next also, I'm not too sure, but I'm open to everything.
Okay. But again, because most of the audience are somebody who's studying or going through that phase, what I liked in what you said just now is that you really need not have a plan. Like you said, some of them are very clear, that's good for them.
Yeah.
But even if you're not, you can
it's
still
absolutely fine.
You can still do fine, and you can get into a niche area which you didn't even know while you were studying that this area is there or this kind of field is there also is there. So as you were speaking, you mentioned about training. See, many students who do the law and CS together, especially the 5-year law students, they feel the CS training is a waste of time. Rather, I go join in a law firm. So can you tell us, was it worth to do this 15 months training? Of course, now it is 21 months. But doing the CS training, despite finishing 5 years law, what is your views on that?
Right. Like I mentioned now, if people are clear on what they want to do, and being a lawyer itself and being a associate or being associated with a law firm, maybe it's not very important for them depending on what stream of law they get into. But personally, I think it's very important that you actually get exposed to CS work also. Maybe not immediate future you will be applying it, but if you're continuing to be a lawyer or a CS in the long run, it will definitely help you. This kind of knowledge you will not be taught in a law firm because the exposure is different. There's a reason why you're taking up CS. And there's a reason why they're doing an articleship in CS. So it will definitely help. I will never disregard this articleship. It will help you.
Okay. So this articleship is really going to add value to you, and many of the things which you learn in the articleship are your foundation skills to do well later. So talking about skills, what do you think are the skills necessary for a company secretary, or in your case being a company secretary and a lawyer, to be successful? What skills should we excel at?
Yeah. The most important, because we are into a lot of law and applicability, you need to have good researching and analytical skills. What to learn, when to learn, how to apply is the most fundamental for our profession, be it law as well as CS. The second most important thing is listening skills. See, what I see most times is each of us have learned the law, each of us have our own interpretation, but the patience to actually listen to your superior or your client or your peer to tell something and apply it, you need to have patience and listening skills. That's when you will be able to exceed in your service. You can be an average Joe, give the service, or you can excel in what you're doing. These things help in doing actually listening to what the other person wants in terms of service.
This is something I think this is first time one of our guests has told. Most of them were talking about how your technical skills should be good, or even some of the soft skills. Of course, that's important. But listening skills is something which really makes a difference, and we are happy that you brought it about.
And the last is the perseverance, right? Not everybody gets success or the times of success they expect in the first year or the 5th year. You need to have the perseverance to pursue what you're doing. Just because your friend or your peer is already up ahead and you're not, does not mean you give it up. Just because you lost 4 times does not mean you give it up. You need to have perseverance when you're in this profession.
Yeah, because end of the day, it's all worth it.
Yes.
Despite all the challenges you go through during your student days.
Yes, yes.
Lakshmi, going further, since you have worked in a CS office, you have also worked with a law firm,
Yes.
then you have worked with the Big Four, and now you are working in a very niche area of family trust and
Family
estate
office,
planning.
yeah.
Family office and estate planning. Can you tell us what were the challenges in each of these different areas that you have worked? And probably, if you want, you can share anecdotes. Of course, we don't want any confidential information, but how you handled this situation in different challenges which you faced.
Right. So I will start with the CS articleship itself. Although I had done a lot of odd jobs before joining CS firm, being articleships or internships in the law firms, CS is very procedural as against a law firm. So I was used to law firm exposure because of my internships. To actually remember one form filing after saving it and then affixing a DSC, then filing it. So the procedure is where I found the challenge to be. So fundamentally, I was not a very procedural person. To get that right is where I found the challenge in the CS bit.
CS firm,
yes, definitely. And at the law firm, because I had 115 months of experience in CS, then I again went back to a law firm as an employee to change the mindset again from being a procedural person to a non-procedural person, the drafting skills, the applicability, because you're so clear on your procedures, now you're jumping directly to logical and analytical. So there has to be a mental shift. I took about 3 to 4 months to even understand how that works. So that was a big challenge to me. Now, after the law firm, I went to this Big Four. Big Four itself is very nice, but you have your lawyers, you have your CAs, CSs, different professionals working. The exposure itself is too different, culture is too different, everything is new other than what you know, which is very dear to you, which is your knowledge. So to adapt to the culture is different, and to understand how things work is different, and now you also have the CA background to what you're doing.
Correct.
You never knew before, because someone used to send the term sheet, someone used to send something else, you're just filing the form, annual return someone used to share and you file. Now the CA is asking you questions which don't know about. So you go back to studying back your CS materials. Why is he talking about something? What is his accounting standard? Then you start applying. It gives you a wholesome approach to what you're doing. Then coming to our family office. Family office is someone who will not expect you to learn the fundamentals once you join there. Expect you to know your fundamentals when you join there. So my fundamentals I formed here, which I'm applying right now.
Okay. So for everyone who's watching this, what you have to really understand is that as and when Lakshmi is speaking, she's talking about the CS syllabus, the materials and how it is useful to her even today, almost being more than 10 years into the profession. And what is interesting is she has worked in different areas, whether it is a CS firm, so that dimension also she has covered, or the Big Four, or the law firm, and now in a very niche area of family office. So everyone who's watching it, don't think what you're studying is of waste. In fact, it's what we study is exactly what we work, and Lakshmi is a perfect example for that. So Lakshmi, now since you're with the family office, and that's a very interesting concept, many of them who are watching this might have heard about this for the first time. What are the trends, because you've been around for more than 5 years, and also in Big Four you told you had some experience about this. What do you feel are the trends in the next 5 to 10 years in this niche profession of family office? And if someone who's watching it wants to get into that, it will be helpful.
In this family office?
Yeah, generally in family office, what are the trends which you see happening in the next 5 to 10 years?
Okay, yes. So like I mentioned, family office itself is a niche concept in India. We are seeing a lot of brain gain in India, where a lot of people who have settled abroad are coming back. This also means that there's a lot of economic growth in India. We are seeing a trend, there's a lot of money gain in terms of professionals making a lot more money, a lot more industrialists, a lot more startups coming in India. This will only mean that each person will require customized service for themselves. So what happens is this customized service is nothing but a family office service, where you're keeping up individual and a family in mind. You're giving them the service, making sure not just the client but his family members are also happy. In terms of investments, be it money, be it estate planning like I'm talking about, or be it CFO services, etc.
Okay. So to put it very crudely, what I could say is there are more and more neo-rich which is coming in and which is happening in India, the more the money, we need to manage it in a
Yeah.
better manner.
Yes,
To
yes.
put it in very simple words.
Yeah.
And this is a niche area which you can definitely think and work, because when Lakshmi is telling her knowledge of CS, law, the accounting, taxation, everything is being used, and there will be more offices and there will
Definitely.
be more such
Yes.
even if not a niche office, the
Yeah.
existing firms
Yes,
will
yes,
have
yes.
a practice area and stuff like that.
I was actually coming to that.
Yes.
Most banks are also having their own private client practice right now.
Okay.
Law firms are opening their own private client practice right now. So
Okay.
everybody is looking at that simply because everybody knows the Indian economy will have a future growth. Plus, we are also seeing that the trend is happening already.
Okay, great. So now generally for somebody who's done CS, law, and in your case you have specialized in estate planning, what can the career graph look like when you look at a horizon of 15-20 years? What do you feel? How does it look
Yeah.
like?
There are typical conventional professional practices like the CS practice. You can be an in-house expert, you can be a corporate compliance expert, all of this. Along with that, what is picking up these days is, since we are all going digital,
Yes.
you can be a YouTuber just to have your knowledge shared in terms of YouTube channels. I am seeing this a lot picking up these days. Many people are just sitting at home making YouTube after YouTube, making subscriptions, and a lot of people are watching. I have also started watching YouTubes just for the knowledge sake.
Okay.
Right, that is one. Another thing is management consultants also. Big Fours are looking for people who have knowledge. Everybody wants to have something in-house. So as a practice in-house associated with the Big Four is also huge right now. And what I'm also seeing these days is students need not just stick to what they've studied. Like I've been repeatedly saying that you need not stick to what you've been saying. You want to expand, you want to learn something else and marry this together. That is also a possibility. Like in 2021, I'm talking for a family office. You really don't know what is going to come up later. So don't forego the knowledge. When you have the time, when you have the opportunity, just study. You never know when it's going to be applicable.
Exactly, because in Lakshmi's case, when she studied CS and law, the family office concept might have been there, but in very nascent
Yeah.
stages. And like she herself said that she never thought that one day she'll end up being an expert in a family office. But her knowledge of CS and law is what helped you
Yeah.
to gain the specialized knowledge,
Yeah.
which is niche for your area. Okay, so now that we have understood quite a lot from the time how your uncle told about CS and you took CS and you worked in different areas and stuff like that, many people who are watching this always feel that can we also do it? What are the skills that we require apart from the core technical skills?
Right.
So if you can share a little bit about that.
Yeah. Apart from the core technical
Yes,
skills.
the core technical skills I feel is a given, which is the most essential.
Yeah.
Everybody needs it.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone watching it understands. But over and above that, to be really successful, what do you feel
Yeah.
is needed?
Yeah. I mentioned about agility.
Yes.
What I want to stress upon is discipline. Discipline cannot be disregarded. It's not just for your studies, for your work-life balance, for your health, mental health. Discipline is really important. I have seen a lot of people who have excellent knowledge in what they're doing. They open their mouth and you can tell that they have been studying their materials very well. But to apply and to have the discipline to deliver at that point of time is lacking these days. So I think the soft skill in terms of discipline is very, very important.
Yes. So I think discipline is something which whether it is terms of how you present
Yes.
or meeting deadlines
Yes.
and making sure that you are giving your best to your client or customer, whoever is there.
Yeah. And the second is being humble and courteous. This again is what I stress upon these days. You can get a client because of your knowledge. To maintain a client, you need to be courteous. You need to be humble. That cannot be disregarded. A lot of trend these days which I'm seeing is they are very, very knowledgeable, but they are not courteous to maintain the clients because of the brand that they are in or the college they come from. So it's a fundamental that you need to have, courteousness and humbleness.
So yeah, since you're talking about courteousness, one of the questions which is coming to my mind is, since in a family office you are working with HNI clients and people who are really successful in their respective fields, what are their expectations from a professional like you? So if you can tell us about that, what do they expect? What are they looking for?
Right. Like you mentioned, they've already been extremely successful in what they're doing and they want someone to give them comfortable services. First things, of course, you need to be at par with your knowledge. They will not take anything lesser than the best, right? So because they have been the best themselves, they have seen so many people out there. There's so much competition out there in terms of a particular service. You need to be at par, if not above, the service providers there. First thing is your knowledge. Second is how to speak and please the client that you have, to maintain the client that you have, which is where I came about with the humbleness and courteousness, because they have been exposed globally.
Yes.
They know who is who, and they can see through your, if not fakeism, if I say that.
Yes.
So you need to know your stuff first, and second, to behave how with them. Not just with them. If you're behaving something else with them, with someone else, they observe, right? It's not just them. Everybody for that matter. So it really helps that way.
And like you said, they can see through you because they've met hundreds of people from different backgrounds, and more often than not, even they've come from different challenges.
Yes.
Especially the newer rich who have come from literally zero, and they would have made it really big. And I'm sure your tips will help everyone who is watching now. Lakshmi, you have shared a lot about your journey right from the time your uncle told you that there's a course called CS and your entire journey. And what I really liked is you told you need not have a clarity on what you want to do, and you're a good example of how, despite not having complete clarity on how or what you'll do in the future, you have done very well and you are in a very niche area. There are many people who are watching this. Most of them are aspiring company secretaries, or some of them may even be fresher company secretaries, and they'll be looking up to all the guests on our show.
Right.
So what is your message to them and how they can be successful in their respective careers?
Right. Technical knowledge cannot be dismissed. You are a CS, you're there for a reason, that is your knowledge. So that cannot be dismissed at all. Second thing which I want to say is the laws keeps changing. What Companies Act 1956 was and 2013 is different in terms of sections, so many other things. It may happen that different things may come up later also.
True.
But we will still be in the profession. So we need to understand that change is the constant thing in this profession, and we need to be understanding that there's no rigidity in this. We have to learn, go by your order, and be agile in terms of learning. The minute you stop learning is when you'll know that you're not going to grow in this profession.
Okay.
Right? And the third thing is, when you have the opportunity to do something in terms of be it reading a section or correlating a case law or anything, make sure you do it thoroughly and finish it, because you will not have time to go revisit again, or you don't know when you're going to apply it next again. So whatever you're doing, thoroughly do it so that it will help you later.
Okay. So what is the message is clear. Change is constant. Keep learning, and there are many wonderful things which is awaiting you in the corporate world.
Yes.
And our guest today, Lakshmi's example is there. So there was a day where she did not know the word company secretary, but today she is using her knowledge of law, company secretary, and also she's working in a very niche area of family office. And same like this, even it can happen to you, where things which you can't foresee today will happen tomorrow. But keep your discipline, like Lakshmi has told. So we are really happy that you spent time and you came on our show, The World of Company Secretaries.
Thank you. Andu.
So that was Lakshmi Manjunath, who is a lawyer, company secretary, and also is working in the specialized area of family office. Her knowledge of CS law and the taxation is helping her to do very well in her career. We really wish you are inspired by this interview. For more such episodes, subscribe to our channel, and also let us know your comments on what you felt about this interview. We'll be very happy to reply. Thank you very much, and all the best to you.